talking about physics, 2D physics, and we will see how we can add some properties related to 2D physics, and we will see how we can work with that. Just before that, I forgot something about this rotation. Here, when you have, for example, you have created an object uh, and you want to do some rotation on it. So originally the pivot point for rotation is the center. So if you are uh, rotating, as you can see, it is rotating from the center. But it is possible that you change this pivot point if you want, and you can have a different pivot point for your change, for your rotation. And for this, you just come to your sprite sheets that you were using for that object. So if I come here in this, selecting this stone image, and I can click on the sprite editor, and here I have some options for changing that image itself. So one of them is just pivot, which is it is over by default it's center. For example, I can change it. If this blue point here is this pivot point here. If I don't know if you can see it or not. If I change it to top left, this comes to here, and if I rotate, it rotates from this center. Just don't forget to press apply, and it's applied on the object, and save it. And now it just you have different rotation point. You can change it anywhere, top left, anywhere you want, and you can change it. This was something that I forgot to say. And also in the scene view, you again I have to put this microphone and work with two hands. You can press Alt and you can press Shift. Because it's like again like other softwares, because here the mouse wheel just zoom in, zoom out, and the right click just goes like this. But it is possible that you press Shift and Alt and work differently, and or at the same time you zoom and pan again. Just you have to work with it, but pressing Shift and Alt and right and left click if you want to work with different options. Okay, let's go with 2D physics, that we want to add some physics property for our project. I go and create new scene, just another scene, which is saving the previous one, and I name it for physics. So in this simple scene, I want to add some objects that will have some properties that are related to physics. So here I go and add empty game object, and stone. I add component sprite renderer. For I could add image as well, but I want to do it just some pure from blank, and then add some renderer to it. At the beginning it has nothing, so I just add this, go to the sprite folder and put this sprite in here. And maybe it's better to change that pivot point, that I just change it. I put it to center, I apply it, I return it to the previous position. And what is this? Yes. Okay. Just make it a little bit smaller and put it here. I want this stone to have physics. So what I do, I just add physics 2D components to this stone. I come here and write or just select from the physics. You can have different options here. Just make sure you don't go for 3D physics. It won't work because we are in the 2D. We should select everything as a 2D. So there are 2D physics, and physics itself is, this is for 3D and this is for 2D. And here we just add a component called rigid body. You type it or you find and select it. So this rigid body is a component that when you add to some object, it has some physics properties. So if I run this program now, you see that this is falling, this stone is falling because it has a gravity and gravity affects this. And it has properties related to that physics. So it has mass value and other properties. But for now, I don't want this stone falls, so I just change this gravity scale to 0. So no gravity is affecting this stone anymore. And if I run, it doesn't move. But I want to add some other things to this environment, and I want to this stone moves by some force, by some constant force that I want to add to this stone. So here, what I do is I add another component to this stone. You see, it had a sprite renderer. This component is in charge of just the visualization of this stone, the image and other properties. This part, which was rigid body, is something related to the physics. You can collapse this just to make it shorter view, and you can easily classify them. So here you add another component which is called 2D force. I just type it, it's easier to find. But you could go to the physics 2D and select this constant force for your object as well. You select this, and by default, force in both x and y directions are 0, so nothing is affecting. So if I run this, nothing happens because there is no force. And if I increase this amount, and this is another thing, you can put values inside the box, or by mouse, if you stay on the x or y and you just click it on the left or right, it results in changing the value. This is another way if you want to change the values here. Again, it's similar to other softwares. Here I want my stone to move in this direction. So this is the x in the positive direction. So if I change this to, for example, 1, and let's run this. and it start moving in right direction with a constant force, and so the speed is just it's not increasing. It is the same velocity that it starts moving from left to right. And again, for example, if I have 0.5 in the y direction and I change this a little bit and I run, and this time it starts going both in y and x direction but with different scaling. And if you want to see the effect of these changes in the direct force by changing those forces at the runtime, you can easily do that. But just make sure that you will not applying at the runtime, because everything you change will be lost. But you can set those parameters in the runtime and then come back after the runtime. You can copy and paste it to the editor time, to design time. I'll show you how you can do this. So at the runtime, let's make it smaller at the beginning, maybe 0.25, and this is 15. Okay, and this is also yes. And I want to change these properties at runtime. So this is happening, and if I change the x, for example, increasing the x, you can see how it is going too fast. But again, it backs to the original value. So this time I go change the y in the other direction, so it comes to down, again up. This is how I do it. And I can change these properties. And if I come to properties that I think that are the best, as you can see, my color here is changed to red, so I'm in the runtime, it's showing that. I can come here and copy component here, because for now it is just two simple properties. Sometimes it's tens of properties that you want to set them in the runtime and have it in the design time. So you just copy component here in the runtime and then stop running, and then you can paste it here. And those values are pasted here. And this way you can change those parameters in the runtime and apply it on the design time and the design mode. So this is how we add physics to it. But now we want to do something more. We want to add some other objects that are colliding with other objects and change directions based on the physics properties. So I want to add some other stones here. This is the stone that is moving. I press Ctrl D for duplicating that stone. This is the stone which is created with the same properties as the previous one, but this one I don't want it to move. So first I change the position and also reset to 0. I don't want this moves. And oh, I put it 2 times, so I just remove one of them. I think it is also here. Okay. So I have stone. Let's change the name. This is moving stone. And this is just the stone that stays there. And we want a collision between this moving stone and this one, and see what happens based on physics rules. Okay. So let's run without adding collisions and see what happens when we don't have any collision component on it. It's very slow, so I'll just increase it. And this is 0 in the right direction. And so this comes and pass over it, no collision. But we want to add some collision to this object. What we do is we have a component called collider, and you can add this collider. Just make sure you're adding 2D collider to your objects, otherwise it won't work. And we are adding collider for both moving stone and the stone that is on the way. So here, if you type or you just select, you can come here and you can select it from physics 2D. So it's the simplest one is the box collider, but you can add circle collider or other shapes, other custom shapes you want. But for now, our stone is just looks like a circle. So I just add circle collider 2D to it. And you can see by adding this collider, there is a green circle over the stone, and this is the boundary that it's showing that if anybody hits this one, it will affected by this one. And also I add so would you please just listen, and we are just finishing in a few minutes. I know you're tired, but if you just because somebody else are just listening and it's just disturbing, that would be great. If you just if you want to speak, just do it outside the class. Um, and I think you didn't hear again. Um, no, they are speaking. Uh, yes, we just continue now. This stone, we also add component circle collider here. This is also 2D. And this time, if I run this program, the first one is moving, but when it is reaching this one, it's just pushing the other one, and it goes like this. And let's see, I do something else. It's just a little bit up, and see what happens. And now it has real effects that you have it in your in the real physical life. So, and you can change this collisions. So as I said, I added a circle collider. You can see you can change the radius of this collider. So here, if I make it smaller, so let's see what happens if I make it smaller. So at the first, it just doesn't do anything until it reaches to the center of that stone. So it depends on you. And if you want to have a complex collider, you can do it as well. You can add, instead of a circle collider, I just remove this from here and add polygon, I guess. Do we have other kind of colliders. We have a capsule, circle, custom collider. No, for custom collider, you have to set a specific shape for it. So there was something looks like polygon, something like this. Yes, this one. And it is possible that you just edit these colliders. We can, for example, add something here. Just you can do some complexity, but the problem with this is that it adds, it reduces the performance of your program, because every moment, every frame, it has to compute all the collisions and see what part of image is collided by other parts, and that's the reason we usually use those simple ones and not complex colliders. And that's you can use it if you have those that they are important part of your game, but generally we just skip that and use capsule, a circle or rectangle colliders for doing this. And also it is possible to add torque value as well. So let's see, for this one, this moving object. So when I'm running like this at the first, you can see it just directly moves without any rotation. We can add some torque value to add this rotation at the beginning. So if you select this moving stone and you have, so where's the torque value? Yeah, yes, this is a 0. I start with this value, see what is, it's rotating at the beginning now. Just a little bit, but it was clear maybe. Yeah, I can do it at the runtime and change it at the runtime. Yeah, it's not. It's rotating at the beginning and then hits the stone. The second one. Anything else for this? There are some other complex issues about this collision, but I don't want to cover it because Kay told me just to stick with those we need for this project. So, so as you are designing your project, maybe you can also see your options, and also you see your limitations. So it can affect your design as well. And that's the reason we usually say designers to have some coding or development softwares, because when they are designing the games, they know what are the limitations, and you don't learn this to be a Unity developer later. You just learn it when you want to talk to other team members in your game development team. You should be able that limitations and that options that you have for